Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. People of the world, all humans. All humans. Thank you for tuning in, Instagram. Thank you, YouTube, and everyone that's joining in. So, there's a lot to get into today. There's a lot to get into. We're going to start a little soft, and then we're going to get into some stuff. Like, we're going to get some stuff done. We're going to, I saw something today, and we're going to wait. I'm going to start you off with something about Ozzy, okay? And we'll tell you about that. But I'm going to teach you how brainwashing works. And I'm going to give you an example that's happening right now as we speak. And I'm going to teach you to when you watch these things, all you have to do is watch with no emotions attached. And it's so simple. But a lot of you it's almost like a heroin addict or drug addicts. It's going to take you a long time because there's a lot of you that still just watch the news and then you turn around like, you hear what happened? You see what's going on? Did you hear what's going on? Whatever. I know you're still there. We're going to have to, there should be a rehab. I think there should be a rehab for anyone that still is plugged into the mainstream media. Okay? Now, Ozzy. Yes, Ozzy passed. And I don't know if you know this, but for those you don't know, I'm so sorry. These two, who's this dirty little bird with the boots? We'll put her over there. YouTube, Instagram. YouTube, Instagram. I'll stand here so you can both watch. So, if either of you know, I'm a metalhead. I mean, you've known that forever. Now, Ozzy, I kind of got into the 80s, but I'm going to be dead serious. I get that Black Sabbath started heavy metal as we know it. And what you may or may not know is the reason that music started, and by the way, I have an Ozzy story, which I'm going to tell you. I got to meet Ozzy Osbourne, and we had an encounter. It was a cool story. I've told it before, but we'll tell it today if you haven't heard it yet. So, heavy metal, that was my life. That was when my family. I remember my sister, when I was young, was going through a divorce, and it was an ugly divorce, and I saw the effects of the children. I was angry. I wanted to lash out. I didn't know how to lash out, and the music, the lyrics would help me. Did you know this about Black Sabbath? First of all, the reason why that sound came, the deeper sound, is because the guitarist's fingers, his tip of his finger got chopped off. Did you know that? Yes. Yes, so he can only play a certain way because the tip of his fingers, he loved playing. They were like a polka band. This is true. This is not him. I'm not making this up. Originally, Black Sabbath, War Pigs. Think of that song, Paranoid. They were, yes, I'm telling you. And Tony Iommi chopped off, he was working in a I don't know, a steel, wherever he was working, blue collar, chopped off the tip of his fingers. And he thought he'd never be able to play again. So he finally got to play, and he created that sound. Now, also, a heavy metal legend told me one time that years ago, like, I don't know if it was like Mozart time or whatever, you weren't allowed to play a certain chord. Like, I don't think there was a lot of like sounds until Sabbath came along. I don't know that for a fact. I'm not Mr. Brilliance on knowledge, but he told me that years ago, it was illegal. They thought it was demonic. Like it was demon. Dude, who's playing that sound? And it's a certain key, like, wah, wah. How dare they play that sound? It brings out the witches. That's on my life. True story. So Ozzy and the band Black Sabbath, they went to a horror movie. And Ozzy would say they couldn't believe people were paying to go get scared to death. People were like, hey, let's pay money. They're in Birmingham, and we're going to pay money, and we're going to pay money to have the living daylights scared out of us. And so they said, well, let's start writing music that scares the living death out of people. I remember my sister, God rest her soul, Sean, you know who I'm talking about. My sister would go, Jimbo, like I was into Janis Joplin and Creedence Clearwater. When Sabbath came out, they were creepy. Well, even Ozzy after that, the whole like scary monster thing. Now, definitely I got into them. I didn't get into Sabbath till the later years, and Ozzy I started getting into, but here's my one little Ozzy story. Metallica, yeah, ooh, give me food, give me fire, yeah. Metallica, who I just went and saw. By the way, I've seen the little TikTok videos of you guys filming me at the last Metallica show in Tampa. Did I lose my mind? Yeah, I lose my mind. I'm not going to be Mr. Celebrity like, okay, I'm just going to... When you're into what you're doing, you let go. Like if I go to a baseball game, they hit a home run, I'm like, yeah! Yeah! I'm not going to go, well, I'm a celebrity, so I have to... No! That's what you're there for. Excited. When I was at Metallica, every single song, they played almost everything I wanted. But they pretty much what I wanted. So... yeah, I lost my mind. I've seen a couple of the TikTok videos. Very entertaining. You're not trying to scare me. You're not going to blackmail me. I encourage you to show them because I air guitared my ass off every single song, and my neck was killing me for a week and a half after. So Metallica is doing... Do you guys... There's all young people in the studio, which really blows my mind because half the references I realize I'm getting old. Do you guys know what MTV is? Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, MTV, when it started, it was monstrous. MTV was absolutely monstrous. And, I mean, the way, like if a video was coming out, you'd be on the street, and whatever you were doing on the street, someone would come out and be like, oh my God, the new video by like Van Halen is coming out. And you would stop what you were doing in the street as a kid and be like, I'll beat you to the house. And you run in the house and you'd have bragging rights like, I saw it when the video first started. That's how powerful MTV was. It was like the monsters of the world got together and how do we control the next generation and have them come off the streets, sire, and go indoors to watch videos with the music. I love this idea, sire. And some of the men will have them wear hair, and we'll get the men to start dressing like ladies. I love it. Send the thunder. Send... What the hell was that band? I couldn't send them all the new wave bands. Girls on film. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Neil Colligan. Remember that? High school, when you wore your little outfit? I should talk. Anyway, I'm getting off this. I can't even remember the name of the band right now. Duran Duran. Think about this. Would anyone walk down the street and dress like any entertainer unless you saw them? No. MTV literally told you how to dress, who to listen to, and they dictated who will be famous and who will be a hit. It really, and rock and metal was the first ones because they already were videotaping things. They were already videotaping. So MTV had this thing called the MTV Icon, which was like a big to-do. Before they had I think it was even before they had the MTV Music Awards, having an icon. Matter of fact, do you even know who Michael Jackson is anymore? Okay, did you know he had a sister?
No.
No?
No.
No? He doesn't even know Janet Jackson?
Really?
Oh, my. You see, everyone over 50, do you remember when, like, your aunt and uncle would come home and be like, we saw the Shooby Bots. Oh, they were huge in the 50s. You're like, oh, okay. Oh, they had this song and that song. And you, as a teenager, were like, okay, I guess so. I guess they were big in your time. I'm now in that time. He's never heard. How old are you?
25.
25. He's never heard of Janet Jackson. A lot of you haven't either. All right. The foreskin. What'd you say, bud? Not the foreskin? What? Whoever just wrote that on Instagram, what? What are you referring to? How do you go from Janet Jackson heavy metal where's the foreskin? Which, off the cuff, who created that foreskin thing? Who said, well, now that the baby's born, let's cut off the top of its penis and the skin and be gone with it? What kind of society do we live in? And no one questions that. Nobody questions. Do any of you know where that came from? No? Okay. I don't either. So where's the foreskin? I don't know where you come from. So MTV, Metallica, they're gonna tribute. It's called MTV Icon for Metallica. Now, I get the call from Metallica. MTV didn't want me. Metallica asked for me to be on. I believe, no offense to you, David Spade, I believe the exact words were they want David Spade because he's hip and he's Hollywood and blah, 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 blah. And he's very talented, a great guy, and I know him. But Metallica wanted me to be on the MTV Icon. Thank you, Metallica. MTV calls me and they say, we're going to give you the details on how to come out to California. They were filming it in California. Snoop Dogg is in it, Avril Lavigne, everyone you've never... Have you heard of Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
He just smokes a lot of pot, right?
Yes, he's the smoke pot guy. So, which that's another whole story. And people were asking the movie Half Baked, hey, Snoop Dogg was the only one that smoked real pot on the set of Half Baked. That's another whole story to get into. And you know what else he did to me on set? The black community, you know what I'm talking about. He did D's nuts on me. Snoop Dogg, during filming Half Baked, he said, hey, man, D was looking for you. I went, D? And he goes, D's nuts. I went, oh, my God, I just got D's nuts by Snoop Dogg. Sorry, I went off the rail. Back.
Somebody on YouTube said it's been 10 minutes and we've already gone 4 different segues.
I know, I'm sorry. This is my brain is all over the place. This is where I go. So MTV calls, and now I'm living in Manhattan. I'm living in Manhattan, and they said, "Hey, man, this is a true story." They go, "Hey, are you able to?" Oh no, this is the call. This is what happened. They called up and they go, "We're really sorry, but there's no more flights to come out to LA. We can't get you on the flights that we need you." They needed me there for rehearsal. And I said, well, he goes, we have a question for you. Would you have a problem with coming out on the MTV private jet. Now, first of all, I've never been on a jet. Like, to me, sitting at that, anytime, I wasn't even flying first class at that time anywhere. Okay? So I said, yeah, I'll be on a jet. No problem. No problem. And they go, okay, well, you got to be, can you be there tonight? I said, yeah, I'll be there tonight. So, I get in a car, and they send a car, and I go to Teterboro Aircut. Teterboro Aircut. You know what's scary? I'm crystal clear, and I say these things. So I don't. Maybe I need some brain fog stuff. Do we have any supplements for that? Teterboro Airport. So I go to Teterboro Airport, and there's a private jet, and I get on the jet, and this thing, on my life, it had couches. It had like a living room area. It had this other area where you sit down. It's like a booth. And the booth, now this is like late 90s somewhere. And there was a flat screen TV before they existed on the plane. You pressed a button, and this would come up. And there was like filet mignon in there, and there was shrimp, and I'm totally white trashing it. I'm taking a shrimp, and I'm shoving it in my pocket. I'm taking the filet, and I'm putting it in. I'm opening all the drawers, and any little dooze of alcohol I'm putting in there. And the pilot comes out, and all my life, he's not dressed like a pilot. He's just dressed like a regular guy. And it was me and my wife, and he comes out. He's like, so, it should be a short flight to California, like 3 hours. Like, 3 hours? That's like, it's usually like 6. He goes, yeah, we're on the jet. The only thing is we're waiting on one other guy. We just got to wait for Ozzy Osbourne to get here. What did you just say? He said, we're waiting. This is Ozzy Osbourne's plane, so we have to wait for Mr. Osbourne. I'm on Ozzy Osbourne's private jet. So I started stealing more food. This is Ozzy's shrimp. This is Ozzy's chicken. This is Ozzy's potato chips. I'm on Ozzy bird. So I'm waiting for Ozzy to come, right? And I'm like a child just sitting there going, when's he coming? When's he coming? And this limo pulls up to the plane, and he comes out, and it's Ozzy. It's like, and I'm looking through the window, and back then there's no phones, there's no cell phones, so you can't take a picture, and you can't, there's no camera, Polaroid. So I start drawing him. I swear to God, I start drawing him like, all right, I got it. So my friends, like, this is Ozzy, this is what he looked like. And all I remember is he came off, he had all these chains, and I can hear him like jingling. He's sitting there and he's walking, right? And he's like, gling, 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 gling. And he comes up the steps, and his daughter was with him. His daughter, Kelly, was with him. And I was ready to, hey, Mr. Osbourne, Kelly. And back then, there was the Osbourne Show, which was the funniest and greatest reality show in history. Every week was just Sharon going, Ozzy, take the trash to the corner. And Ozzy was like, I don't want to take the trash to the corner, Sharon. I don't understand why. Just take it to the corner. And I was like, the dog is just crapping all that. Just go. And matter of fact, there was an episode where Jack, the son on the Osbournes, he wanted to watch this movie, right? And Sharon goes, let me see that movie. Let me see that movie. And Jack goes, what? No, it's nothing. No, nothing, Mom. And he goes, here. And she looks at the cover and she goes, absolutely not. He's like, why not? Absolutely, it's filth. Absolute filth. Okay? Now, I've always wanted to know, what was that movie? I want to know what that movie was. So, I swear to God, this is a true story. So now I'm on the plane, and Ozzy comes on, and I want to go out and say hello to him, but he sits right in the front seat. Boom. And then I felt stupid. So I was like, I'm just, you know what? I'm on his plane. It's all good. His daughter's sitting next to him. And I'm like, I'm not going to bother them. So my wife and I are sitting in the back. And I told my wife, let's sit back near the toilet. Because eventually he might have to pee. And he's got to walk past me. So he, sure enough, in the middle of the flight, Kelly Osbourne comes in the back. She's got her pajamas on. And she comes and she sits next to my wife. And, you know, she's like, what are you doing here? She was adorable, really, really adorable human being. And she was very young. She was very young. Not like 12, 13, but I feel like she was in her teens. And she goes, we're talking, and, you know, we're talking about Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. And she goes, do you watch the show? And I went, I have to admit, I'm a huge fan of the Osbournes on MTV. And she goes, did you see the episode when me mom wouldn't let Jack watch a movie? I went, oh my God, yes. She goes, do you know what that movie was? I went, no, I've been dying. She goes, it was your movie in Half Baked. She goes, it was the movie Half Baked. I went, are you serious? So, and all I thought about was like, how cool that Half Baked is on in the Osbournes. To me, that's all. I was like, oh my God, we're in the Osbourne house and Jack's watching me. This is amazing. So now comes my moment. We're about halfway through and Ozzy gets up and he starts walking to the bathroom. And I'm like frozen. And he's wearing the whole garb. He's got the glasses. Even though he's on a plane, he's got the glasses, the whole garb, right? And he's coming down the plane. He's coming down. And there's a little bit of turbulence. So he can't, even back then, he couldn't, you know, he's walking, and if the plane just moved a little, he'd be like, it set him back like another 5 seconds. And then he'd come back up, and I stopped him. I said, Mr. Osbourne, thank you for allowing me and my wife on the plane. And he's looking at me through the glasses. And I said, you know, I said, the song War Pigs changed my life. It taught me so much about our society. And you know, my father was in World War II, and he was in the Philippines, and all the Breuers were in World War II, and all the Breuers went in the battle. My uncle Robert was captured by the Nazis, and he was in prison camp. He escaped prison camp. My uncle Charles was shot down. He was in New York. He was shot down, and he played a deaf mute in Nazi Germany for weeks, almost starved to death until the French underground saved him. True story. As you know, I just want to thank you. And all I remember is he's like, I was like, all right. I got my interaction with Ozzy. But that was, and I don't know if any of you watched that concert, but that was, I have to say this, out of that concert, all the people were great. Slayer was great. Everyone crushed it on there. The female, did you guys see Lizzie Hale? Check out Lizzie Hale's performance. It was absolutely monstrous. So that's my one little Ozzy story for the great memory of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm so sorry for Kelly and Jack and all the family. You know, we forget he is an entertainer, but at the day, he's a human, and his family is human. And they lost their father, and someone lost their husband. So prayers to the family, and I wish them healing and all that. So that's the end of that. Now, a lot of things are happening as we speak. I do not watch the news, okay? Because to me, when we go over this, news is brainwashing. And I'm going to give you an example, okay? I'm going to give you a great example right now. And this just happened moments ago, all right? I want you to think about something, all right? Brain wash. Brainwash. I'm going to show you how they do it. But here's the key. you have to do the following, all right? Listen to me. This guy.
Abe lost his leg. Yeah.
You need to listen to me. I'm going to teach you something here. The first thing you got to do is detach your emotions right now. Okay? You're not a liberal. You're not a conservative. You're not Republican. And you're not a Democrat. You're just a human being watching something. I don't want you to focus on the news channel, and I don't want you to focus on what's being said. But what I'm going to show you is how they manipulate your thinking process. Now, right before the show started, I saw this thing. I don't even care who this is. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it's being fed on CNN. Again, it doesn't matter. Let's not pretend it's CNN. But I want you to listen how they interrupt the broadcast and the words that they use to feed your emotions, to control you. Because that's what news is. Controls your emotions, it controls your decisions, and it gets your ass and your mind and your brain to just absorb and obsess. Obsess. Watch this. You guys don't even know what I'm about to show you. Listen, not to what she's saying, but listen to how they interrupt and the words they use. And why isn't this playing? Hold on now. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Oh my God, I'll look like a jackass if this don't go. Mother. Why is this not happening? Oh, mother of pearl.
You sent it to Kyle, you can pull it up.
Did I send it to Kyle?
No, if you send it to Kyle.
Huh?
Send it to Kyle.
I know. I don't know if it's going to... Why is... This was playing... Let me... Damn it. Damn it.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's right here. I don't know why it's not doing it. But long story short, here's what happened. The person giving the... at the podium says, we found some documents, okay? We found, it was playing before, at least I thought it was.
I think you screen grabbed it without the sound.
I screen grabbed it without the sound because that's what you do when you're 58 and you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard, doesn't matter who she is. She goes on, if you watch every single feed, she's on CNN. And while she's saying, oh, we have documents. This is it? Is it the CNN when they cut her off? Okay, just listen to this. Ready?
Released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election.
Doesn't matter.
On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation.
In the attempt to give these extreme allegations, how do you not understand that is dipping in your mind and telling you what to think before you even have a moment to digest the situation? That is no different than I walk in and go, This person is attempting to give these outrageous allegations, and if you can't stand this person or you can't stand the other news, you're already all in. If I'm a liberal, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy allegations. It's just insane. That is called brainwashing, and if you're falling for it, you're being brainwashed. Listen to the words they use to manipulate your thoughts. Conspiracy. Listen again to the words they use. Are you ready? This is mind control. Right now, someone's going, you need to interrupt the program. They're not reporters. CNN is not reporters. None of these news networks are reporting. They're telling you what to think. They interrupt and listen to the words. And mark my word.
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents, to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released.
If you can't see what that just did, now, if you label yourself as a liberal, if you label yourself as a lefty or a Democrat or whatever, you immediately just made up your mind because they told you what to think. They told you what to think. If it wasn't Tulsi Gabbard, and they're not talking about Obama, they're talking about cheese. If CNN came out and they said, we just found out that this cheese years ago had a, we found all the receipts, we found all the proof to prove that this cheese tried to prove it was a hot dog. And then all of a sudden the news feed goes, we interrupt this program because, you know, they're continuing to make these allegations that are just a conspiracy that are outrageous. Watch how many people tomorrow are going to go, did you hear about these outrageous conspiracies? All the cockatoos are going to, because that's all you are. You think you're informed. You're just a cockatoo watching the news. Conspiracy, conspiracy, outrageous, outrageous, conspiracy, conspiracy. Watch. That's how brainwashing is. And I had people go, whoa, you know, we're more intelligent. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you're emotionally involved. I'm not emotionally involved, and I can see how ridiculous that is. I can care less what the subject matter is. I'm more concerned that that so-called trusted news channel is telling you already how to take the situation, how to think about it. That's not their job. It never was their job. And the minute you realize that news is not here to feed your soul in a good way, in a human way, they're just here to create negative, hateful, and control your thoughts and your emotions, you're going to be able to deprogram yourself from this entire system. And it gets easier and easier when you detach your emotions. Oh, that stuff drives me nuts. What?
Can I have my phone back?
Yeah, you can have your phone back, Mike. There you go. Sorry. Where's my phone? Okay. Wow, I'm sweating. That stuff makes me nuts. It makes me more nuts that people don't see that. How do you not see that? Like they just purposely jump in and, hold on a minute. Here they go again with their outrageous. First of all, let me explain something again about any news channel. And this includes Fox. Sorry. I know some of you don't want to hear that. It's all propaganda. Stop watching television. Stop watching television. Is that easier for you? How many of you trust everything you see on the television? I know I still have family members. If they don't see it on the TV, it doesn't exist. Where'd you get that? From the internet? Yeah. I got it from the place where, and the internet can be dangerous, but not as dangerous as networks. Networks. They throw the net. They're casting their net to grab you for their nightly programs. Tonight's program, as we tell a vision onto you, think of how much of your life you trust that a TV or someone on a TV will tell you. You know what it's like sitting with, I had family members, and if you don't think for one instance, whoever runs television, every single network, please don't be foolish enough to think that they don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. We need to get human again. We really do. I'd like one day where there's no such thing as any political party. Wouldn't that be fun one day? Like when you're in your home and your family, is there, when you have your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and everyone's together, is there a political party? Is there a left group or a right group? Is there, don't you remember that time when you're hanging out with your friends and your barbecue and all that? Are you voting who the smartest person is? Are you voting on who the wisest person is? You know, years ago, we used to listen to older people. This system has trained us to push them aside. They're getting old, they're getting yucky, just, put them somewhere. What a disturbing way to treat humanity. They're the ones that have all the knowledge. They're the ones that had all experience. We have all these malls. Wouldn't it be cool, like, if you had malls and buildings and all that jazz, why not, again, if you're going to take money for war, hey, let's send this country millions of dollars. And by the way, if you're, let's say you're a pro Zelensky fan, have you ever seen him dancing around in tights? I want you to do right now. Look up, what's the name of the guy who runs Ukraine?
Zelensky?
Zelensky. What's his first name?
I have no idea.
Well, it doesn't matter. Zelensky. Look him up and look up the days when he was a comedian.
Voldemort.
He's an actor. It's all a show. It's a movie. It's a show. He's dancing around with tights. It's all just a movie. When television shows you something, whether it's your political leaders or whatever it is, you're only seeing you're seeing a photo op. You're seeing a model shoot. That's all it is. And it's able to control everyone and their thoughts and everything. You have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. You have no clue what that real human being is. Please, TV, television, tell a vision. Tonight's program, we're going to program you. It's really that simple. It's that simple. And they put it in your face, just like what I just showed you. This is just outrageous, ridiculous. Who is any news network? Are they inside? Do they know all the details? The balls and the audacity to not think a human being can think for themselves. And to me, quite frankly, that's a crime. What that channel just did, that's a crime. You just told people how to think, and you know you have that power, and you know that, and I know that too, because all you did it during the whole vaccination world. And by the way, everything I say is just goofy, and there's no facts here, and if you got it, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm so excited for you. But there was a time when you all were bullying. Every channel was shame on you. Maybe we should shame them, and we're getting angry. The president... I'm getting very frustrated. We'll get into all that. What?
What's your take on people labeling you like a far-right conservative?
You know, yeah, people will go, "Oh, Jim's a far-right conservative." I can't help how people are gonna label me. That I can't help. But again, that comes with their emotions. I'm not a far-right conservative. I'm not even close to it. I'm not even some people are, you're a Trumper. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And maybe you know what? I think most people get that. The people that think that way is because you saw me going after or exploiting a lot of what happened the last couple years. I used my own morality and common sense to see what I was looking at. I didn't even care if Trump existed. I can care less if Donald Trump existed. I saw who a lot of you saw, oh, Joe Biden. Two things. A, I don't think that was Joe Biden. And two, that thing tried to convince me that men should be in female sports. Let me explain something to you. Let's talk common sense. No politics. What is this camera for? Who's on this camera? Huh? This one over here? All right. Let me explain common sense to you. It's very easy. Let's pretend there's no politics. If someone came from nowhere, okay, they just, whatever, they came from a country you never heard of, okay, and they showed up and they said, yeah, where we're from, they're chopping off male penises, and the government's actually funding universities, and they're giving money, but they'll only give that money if you support a male playing in a female sport, and a male turning into a female and performing in female sports, and they're allowed to go in the bathrooms. That's not politics. That's common sense. If anyone in my family, any male in my family decided they wanted to transgender into a female, the first thing I would do is I'd go, hey man, do yourself a favor, turn TikTok off. Also, I get it. Can you just, I've had thoughts too. I remember when I was a little kid, I don't know why I was horny. I'd watch this little show, and the show was The Magic Garden. And it was two women playing, and one had a guitar. I was 5 years old. I didn't even know what being excited, I just know my belly felt funny. And I would sit, on my bed just watching it, rubbing back and forth. I didn't know what was going on. I'm being serious. I didn't know what was going on. Matter of fact, when I see a female wearing stockings all my life, I'm going to say some stuff here I'm not happy about. And you may try to hold it against me, but back then, I remember my parents weren't home when I was young one day. I think I was like 7 years old, and they were out in the back, and I snuck in my mom's drawer, and I pulled out her pantyhose, because for some reason, when I'd see pantyhose, I would get horny, and my belly would feel funny. Does that mean I should cut my penis off and start playing and taking hormones and play in sports? No. It meant but I didn't know what was going on. But I had time to figure it out on my own. I didn't have the school telling me what I am. I didn't have the government tell me what I am. I didn't have funding tell me who I am. I knew what I was on. And I knew when I stood in front on my bed in my mom's room with those pantyhose on, I went, this is weird, dude. This is weird. I don't know what I thought. Maybe I'm just, yeah, this ain't happening for me. But that's the first thing I would tell the person in my family. But the second thing would be, if any of my children, females, any of my girls were in a bathroom, any man that would want to go in a bathroom with females that are pretending to be a girl, I'm sorry, but you are suspect in my eyes. You're a suspect to me. I don't trust you. Now, is that me being, oh, you're homophobic? No. Or you're transphobic? No. I'm not stop using the word phobic. That was another word created. That's just nonsense. That's a bully word, because I'm not afraid of going, oh my God, I've become transphobic. You know, let me cut my penis off. Hey, oh my God, I hung out with a gay person. Now I want to get gay. Like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Barack Obama put out this statement that every young boy should have a gay friend. Says who? Says who? What? What? Well, let me explain something to you. I remember college. We had a gay teacher. And on my life, this guy was really, really into me and my other friend. We were the only heterosexuals in all of acting. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be funny. Maybe there was one other guy. And we were taking acting class, and we were the only two, and it was just like plucking fish out of it. It was so easy, because all the dudes were gay. We're like, hey, we're not. Kabling! Another girl for me, another girl for me. We were young and all that jazz. But this one teacher would make us do meditation. And I remember him really trying to convince me to go to his home for dinner, just me and just my friend, who was a good-looking dude. He's like, no girlfriends, no whatever. He was an Asian dude, no this, no that. As time went on, things happened with others, not me. Now, if I listen to Barack Obama, I might find myself in a different situation right now. Because that's another thing that people don't want to talk about. Sometimes I don't understand that world, so I would never attack it. Never attack it. But to deny that a lot of people are abused, shame on you if you don't call it out, and shame on you if you don't exploit that. Because a lot of people are embarrassed when they are abused. Hence what has happened in the Catholic Church. Not saying that happened or ever. No, it has. And then who doesn't say that is like, a man will never, ever, ever admit to that, because that's the most heinous, disturbing, horrifying thing that you could do to a child. And the child's not going to say, because you manipulated that child, and as they get older, they're going to be teased and everything else. So, I don't know why I brought all this up. I don't know where I was going with this, but where was I going with this? Barack Obama?
No, people were saying that you're
oh, this all because of the far right thing. I'm not far right. You got mad because I would call out. No, I couldn't stand Biden. I couldn't stand that whole time period. You threatened me to get vaccinated. Don't pretend you didn't. The president did. He had no right doing that. This was during the time of misinformation. The president ain't a doctor. Every news channel. I couldn't stand. I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings. That's on you. And the fact that you, oh my God, let me explain something to you. So am I considered a Trumper if I tell you, I'm going to show you again, it's all their hate. It's just about hate. Oh, I hate the other person, so therefore I will allow all this horrible stuff to happen as long as I don't get to see this person because I hate them. That's a sick way of thinking. Sorry, I hate to call you out, but that's sick. So, when Biden said a hurricane was coming, and the best way for hurricane prevention is to get vaccinated, if you weren't politically, emotionally involved, you would have sat there and went, what did this guy just say? If your father came home and said, hey, we got a hurricane coming, quick, get vaccinated. Does that make me a Trumper? Or does that make you emotionally involved in derangement? Because that's a disease, I'm sorry. That's you watching the television and you're rooting for a villain. That's a villain. That's a deranged. And even that, oh no, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with his mental health. Really? Wow. Okay. Then I guess you're right. I'm a right-wing conservative. I'm never going to be able to, if you're going to label me, you can label me however you want, but I do know this. I know who I am. And I'm never going to be afraid by the people that try to label me. I live the best of my standards through morality, common sense, spirituality, and I'm always in tune with my God. Always. I may fall a lot, but until you can say the same, and you're still labeling people, that's you going past the human part. You're the one that got caught up in it, but it's still okay to get out of it. You still got time to get out of it. But you need to come to these terms, and that's the only way we start. That's the only way we start coming together. Forget all these terms. Forget all that. Start talking to one another. That's all. I need a drink of water. Oh, I knocked down my Metallica water. We didn't even get to some of it. Let's talk about Colbert. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you want to get into Obama stuff?
Let's go Colbert.
Let's go Colbert, and then we'll get into this. So, show of hands, who's a big Colbert fan? Joking, I can't see you. First of all, Colbert knows the business. He's not stupid. He's trying to play victim. And everyone that's supporting him, you got these celebrities coming out and other talk show. We're here to support. Why? Why? What is so funny? I remember certain videos of Colbert that I would classify as disturbing and absolutely ridiculous. You know when Colbert really played himself? Like really played himself? And by the way, for the record, I believe if you look at the ratings, he is plummeted for the last couple of years. He's not rising. No network is going to drop a guy if his numbers are through the roof. People are honest. You're honest. If you start dropping, well, I'm like, I guess they don't like me anymore. It is what it is. You can't hide from it. This is the brilliant. I love when I see these celebrities like, he's absolutely brilliant. And this is an atrocity, what's happening to Colbert. Well, let's look at some of his brilliance. Before we even play this, this is one of Colbert's, and I believe, I saw Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love your stuff. I saw, I think Rosie O'Donnell was upset. I think the other talk show host. I gotta say, this must have been one of the most quote, the words for Colbert is brilliant. Let's watch his brilliant child baby sacrificing bit. Did you ever see that one? Oh, this is hilarious. It's brilliant. This is brilliant writing. This is brilliant performance, and this is probably the most belly-laughing sketch, and I am just outraged that it did not win an Emmy. Can you please show the brilliance of the network that kept this man on for years and years when they played this brilliant sketch?
Me! I must appease him with the gift of a man-child. Come to me! I must feed you! I must lead you to the room of ways.
Taking a baby, sacrificing the baby. Oh my God, this is so good. Watch this part, it's really funny. Wow, this is so good. And we even fixed the tie. Wow. Isn't that brilliant? That's Johnny Carson stuff right there.
Baby will be fine.
What is that? What is that? How about this one? How about his, oh my God, the brilliant vaccine sketch. Oh my God, this is the funniest thing in the world. Having people dressed up as vaccines, and people thought this was absolutely brilliant. Look at this. Look at him. He's selling it. He's trying to sell this. I'm a vaccine. Who pitches this? Who says, hey, I got a great idea. We come out as vaccines, and I dance, and... Vaccine! And people calling this brilliant, and people calling this hilarious, and now something tells me that maybe there's something deeper going on. I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever seen this sick video? Do we have this sick video, Kyle? Of the missing boy? Did you guys? Oh yeah, play this one too. When he comes out and he says he's hosting an award show and he calls everyone godless sodomites. Is he one of them? I don't know. He says he's got a family and all that. And I'm not accusing him of anything, but this whole big dramatic thing, like he's special.
Thank you.
And now he's playing victim.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
Okay. Good evening, godless sodomites. Can you play the other sick video? This was floating around on the internet years ago. Do you know what you want to talk about? It's a dancing. It's the little boy and painting. Oh boy. Oh boy. I have it. But there's this video where they're comparing Colbert to a situation. And listen, no one could ever prove, and no one even knows it, but we're going to turn you into some really sick parts here where I want to show you something. I have this video, and I have it right here. Hold on. Be here? No internet. Try again. Okay. Maybe you guys can try it. But anyway, it's a boy that's missing. And a lot of you have seen it. Matter of fact, look it up. Look it up. You can look it up right now on TikTok. Say Colbert and Missing Boy. Or the Colbert and that song. And a lot of people think this looks like him. And not for nothing, I don't know why Colbert has never addressed that there's a list. Now, we don't know about the list, and we don't know if it's real, and we don't know if the Epstein list is real and not real, it's made up, and I know nothing about it. All I know is, and I've said this before, if I was associated with the Epstein list, I would address it the first time I saw it on the, look up Colbert and the missing boy dance. Colbert missing, or Colbert dancing with the little boy. Yeah, dance. Try that one. Interesting. It won't come up right now.
They cleared it.
There's no way they cleaned that. There's no way they cleaned that between now and when the show started. Go on TikTok. Yeah. Here we go. There it is. Now, I'm not saying this is him, but I had someone send this to me a long time ago. We're talking like 3-4 years ago at the least. I don't know who this is, but this is it. Look at this video. And all I'm saying is at that time, I remember looking, they said this is Epstein's list. Have you guys ever seen the names on the list?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, we showed it on the last one.
Colbert was on it. Stephen Colbert was on the Epstein list. I'm not saying he went there, and I'm not saying he was on the list. That is absolutely nuts. If you believe, I have no clue, and I'm not accusing him. But this is freaky how much this guy looks like him. He should address this. Don't you think he should address this? Play this.
This is the third time trying to post this video. The first 2 times were the content was removed for violating the guidelines, which basically means is what I'm saying is true, and it poses a threat to their narrative.
Just get to it,
So all I
buddy.
can really say is look this up on YouTube, and if
Play
you know,
another
you
one. Here's
know.
another
Every
one.
time you hear
Play a different one where you actually see him. Wait. Yeah, play that one. Look at that. Who's that guy? Who's that guy with the glasses? You ever see that video? From what I understand, that little boy's been missing. And whoever's dancing with him, how horrifying is this? That's straight up horrifying. Now, I ain't saying that's Colbert, but what I'm saying is, what he made an allegation that it's, Trump is, stop. Come on, man, we're entertainers. You had a great run, and you just move on. But that vaccine sketch said everything. I'm sorry, you lost. If you had, whatever viewers you had that time, a lot of them veered off and went to the other way because we're not tapped into the matrix and we don't believe anything shoved down our throat. You were part of enforcing me to try to go stick a needle in my neck. And you got paid and you danced like a monkey. Hey, go get the shot. I'm sorry. I wish him well. I don't wish anyone failure, but stop pretending and making this like you're the victim. You made millions of dollars. My God, be blessed. Be happy. If I was Colbert right now, I'd be like, hey, you know what? They're not bringing us back. And you know what? I made $300 million. I've got places in Maui. I got places in Fiji. I got places around the world. I've got a family. I've got everything. Oh my gosh. I've been on TV for the last 30, 40 years. I started with Jon Stewart, and now look at me. What a career. I'm so blessed. But what does he do? There's probably Trump in the... Stop. Be thankful, man. There's people out there right now who can't even afford getting gas. And you're going, I can't believe it. I can't believe Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you bought groceries? Have you tried to buy groceries? Do you have a nanny? Do you have people that drive you to work every day? You know how many people would love to have someone drive you to work every day? To have network television? You're set for your life. You're set for your life. And you're out there going, I can't believe I'm being canceled. My God. Be blessed, brother. Be blessed. You have more than probably 80 to 85% of the human beings living in this country right now. How dare you complain? My God. So much more out there. Anyway. Was that negative?
No, that was a good take.
I ended on a positive note.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I meant the pot. But man, be blessed. I can't, like, stop. I can't believe, it's the money. No, it's not. No one's watching. Nobody's watching. If you're 60 and 70 years old and you hate and you're still involved in politics, that's the only people I know watching. Do any of you watch? Do you watch him?
No.
Does anyone in here watch Colbert? So you all represent 25 and under. So you don't even watch him. So what is the big deal? What's the ratings? Do you know the ratings?
It tanked. It tanked. It's like over 50 is like the only people really tuning
Over
in.
50 are the only people watching it.
And that's for late night in general, though.
Late night, nobody's doing. There's only one person crushing in late night. Crushing. There's only one crushing in late night, and that's Gutfeld. And I don't care, again, what your political affiliation is. It doesn't matter. Gutfeld is absolutely crushing. And you know why I know that? I know people that have been on Colbert. I know people that have been on Fallon. Fallon's a great human being. I've run into him a couple times. Always been nice to me. I don't know him, but every time we've had interactions, beyond pleasant. If you go on Gutfeld, you know it the next day. Like me as an entertainer, if I'm on Rogan, I know when it comes out. And the reason I know, because I don't go on my social media. This team here is my social media team. Let me tell you something. They'll call me like, have you seen, you call you guys like, dude, are you on Instagram? I went, no. So like, have you seen your numbers? I went, no. I don't even look at them.
No, you don't.
I don't look at them. I live life. That's part of the business. However, if I'm on Rogan, if I'm on Gutfeld, those two, there's a couple others where you know you were on them. I don't know what the delay is with Rogan sometimes, but I know because people come up to you, and your social media goes through the roof. I would like to compare one guest if they did. No offense to Jimmy Fallon, I love Jimmy Fallon, but if you did Fallon, if you did Colbert, if you did, I don't even want to talk about him, and you did Gutfeld, I guarantee you the Gutfeld is the one that would blow your numbers up. Case closed. It doesn't matter what's. I know a comedian, by the way, I won't say his name just out of respect for him, and he leans way more to the left. He's more on the left, but he's got certain. But he said he's been on all of them, and he goes, Gutfeld's the one that sells him tickets when he performs, when he goes on tour. Sells him tickets. So this whole nonsense of Colbert complaining, dude, just make it happy and walk into the sunset and enjoy your life. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your money. Enjoy the beauty of what you created. Stop whining about it. It puts a horrible taste in people's mouths. It doesn't come across good unless there's something else going on that maybe we don't know about. Maybe it will be revealed in the future. I don't know. All right.
I do want to ask, have you seen the Coldplay stuff?
Oh,
from the concert? Did you see that stuff?
Have I seen the Coldplay video thing, the kiss cam?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
What do you think about that?
What do I think about it?
For the people, let's play it real quick.
For those of you that haven't seen this, these poor people can't escape this. But again, go ahead, play this. This is.
Oh, look at these people.
Caught red-handed.
So
so the band is doing a concert, and they do a kiss cam, and they go on this couple, and he's the CEO, and she's like
the head of HR.
The head of HR.
How ironic.
Isn't it ironic? So the head of HR in a company, what is the company? Astronomer? What does astronomer do?
Like AI stuff. Like they're a pretty big company.
See, again, it just shows you. Now, let's say they had marital problems, which they now have. There's no doubting that the husband of that female, if she has one, and the wife of that man, they're in serious trouble. Now, this again goes to we as a society, over and over and over again, we put CEOs on a platform. We put rock stars on a platform. We put politicians on a platform. We put certain payrolls on a platform. And there's all your false idols and ego. And your ego, your pride, let's have Pride Month. Pride is one of the most reckless things you can have in your lifetime. Pride. Yet no one sees that. Ego. This is a classic example of, like, I don't know their lives. I really don't know their lives. But again, I thank God that I've done everything in my life to stay grounded and to stay moral. I haven't always. None of us have. But the more we tap into our humility and being humble, you won't be in these situations. You won't be in these situations. This guy's like, I'm the CEO, and she comes in. I don't know the situation. I'm the head of HR. Isn't HR like how you're supposed to have relationships?
She would have been the person that you would have gone to if this was happening inside below the company. This is the most ironic part.
If you're having sexual issues and whatever in a company, you go to the head of HR. But the head of HR is giving it to the CEO. Let's go. I've got a suite for Coldplay. Bunk, 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 bunk. Check me out. I'm the CEO. And this is my HR. Is there any problems? Oh, there's a problem now. There's a problem now. And then let's cut to the friend. Who's the friend right next to him going, oh boy. Not only are they caught, I am too for keeping my mouth shut and possibly encouraging this behavior. Oh yes, because I make lots of money and I've been demoralized in the power of what I deserve. Dude. Ego, pride has now just destroyed 2 families. Mm. Does that CEO have children?
Yeah.
How do you think his children feel? Because that's another thing. Let me tell you something. My daughter made me think of something which I didn't realize when I was younger. The young generation, you don't think those kids, I don't know how old those kids are. You don't think kids are going, hey, dude, saw your dad last night. Wow. And not for nothing, but how's your mom feeling today? Do you know how that man and that woman had the audacity to be in public display? That's the power of, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? The minute you get back to your morality, what's right and wrong, and your desires that come at you, this would have never happened. If that HR, I bet you that HR person, I love to talk to him. Does she have morality? Does she have a conscience? Was she married?
Who, the
HR woman?
Yeah, they both were married.
They're both married, getting it on in public display. That's the power of lust. How do we destroy families? And I can tell you this. I grew up watching families destroyed. It's the most painful, horrible thing. And I will tell you this too. I still know certain people in my life that struggle with alcohol addiction, drug addiction, depression, lack of confidence in themselves. They have abandonment issues, all because of the situation we just watched.
Well, so that's interesting, and I don't know that this is true, but apparently there is a clip of the daughter of the CEO. She's starting an OnlyFans now. The daughter of the CEO is starting an OnlyFans now. And that just recently, like, I don't know that that's 100% true, but like if that is true.
What is an OnlyFans?
You don't know what OnlyFans is?
I don't know what
it's
OnlyFans.
Like it's the new like Pornhub.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah, like she's like trying to be like she's trying to get into porn now. Just crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is the daughter? Please tell me no. No. Please tell me that's not this child. She's a child. Viral goes daughter starts and on after her dad got caught cheating. And see, now here's the effects. This is the power of just going, that little sound. Oh! Oh! You dream about it, you fantasize about it, you watch dirty, sick films about it. I just can't wait to. And while you're sitting there going, the CEO and I have a suite worth $20,000, which is basically a snot rocket for me. I have money. I have everything I want. We'll take a limo there. And these two are getting it on. And this man never took the time to think, how's his daughter going to take this? Maybe they should teach this stuff in school. Maybe you should teach what happens when families cheat, or what happens when they're on display. What happens to the children? What happens how a young girl sees that situation and her father in that role and the actions that he did, and what is her now relationships with all the men that she goes into? Let me tell you something. We've all know the relationships of the wildcat men. I always warn men. I'm like, listen, if you have a wildcat, beware. Most wildcats have serious daddy issues, and those are unhealed issues. And you want to be part of that. Yeah, you like it. Yeah, you like that. You like it like the video. No, you like that. You don't like the person. That's the dehumanization of it. Pornography is demonic. It dehumanizes the human aspect. It was created to dehumanize you and to forget what it's like to respect one another, what it's like to respect your emotions, what it's like to respect all that you do for another, the beauty, the females. Have you lost your way? You give birth. You're angels. You give birth. That's a miracle of life. Some women can't even have babies. And yet you just, shake my ass and bow down and show it. You're selling sex. And that's what you're going to attract. And men, if that's all you want, then don't get married. Don't get married. Because now you destroy lives. Now you destroy lives. All for this. I like you. I like you too. Are you married? I'm married too. We're going to do this. Yeah, you want. Oh, no. Oh, boy. right, she's in pornography. She's got addictions. She OD'd. He's an asshole now. He's slutting around. Mommy's got drinking problems. You lost half your money, all for that little sound. Is it worth it? 3 seconds, like a Disney ride. Except for when you get off, they just take everything from you. Sorry, we just ruined your life. Bye. Hope it was worth it. Wow. And you know what? I'm glad that... and their actions showed everything. Actions. And again, CEOs, your ego, detach it. Can we just... I even think that too. You know how many times I would do private corporate gigs? Corporate gigs they'll do, a lot of times they'll hire entertainers and they'll hire comedians and stuff like that. And it's very dangerous to send a bunch of employees, male and female together, away for a couple days on a work thing, and then they booze them up. It's incredible, this whole idolizing of what you think is more important in life. You know, I know a couple friends that they've lost family, they've lost children. They lost children. And when you start going through life, and the minute you understand that nothing that you make in life is what your life is not defined about how much money you make. That's not going to make you a beautiful person. That's not. It's going to buy you some awesome, cool things, but it's also going to attract a lot of people that want those pretty attractive things, like a nice toy. When you're in a neighborhood, a poor neighborhood or a middle-class neighborhood, when you get the nicest toy, everyone wants to hang out with you. Not because they want to be with you, because they want to be with the toy, and they want to be with the person that has the best toys. And that goes on in life. And it just blows my mind. And this programming starts when you're a kid. You're in school. It's like, who has the biggest stars? Who has the most stars? You know what? You're the smartest kid. The smartest kid does not define the best human being. The CEO doesn't mean he's a good human being. But you know how many people look up to that guy because he's a CEO and he's, quote, successful? You know what successful is? When you still have children in your lives and you still have people in your lives that want to be with you for the person you are. When you have people that just want to be with you, they want to gather, they want to laugh, they come to you for advice, they love you, not for anything you have, they love you because they want to hear what you have to say. They don't care how much money you make, they don't care what your job is. How many times you get together and you don't talk about work and you don't talk to politics? Are they not the best times in your life ever? Life is memories. Life is creating memories. Life is tapping back into humanity and looking after each other and trying to solve one another's problems. And the minute you understand that your CEOs and the people that are rich and all the politicians and all your favorite stars and all that, they're not going to be there for you in your lifetime when you're grasping onto your last breath. Case closed. And listen, there's a lot of people out there. You got to be good to yourself. And this drives me nuts. This drives me nuts. And I want everyone to know this. I really want you to know this. Stop thinking you're a nobody. Whoever you are, stop saying, well, I'm just a nobody. No, you're a somebody and then some. Because one human being can change the whole world for the better, as long as they don't care who gets the credit. It's really that simple. I walk down the street, someone's kind to me, I take that kindness, I throw it out in this direction, I touch this person, they're on a platform, it goes far and wide. And that all started from the person that said they're a nobody. A nobody can save a life, and you don't even know you're saving a life. Don't ever say you're a nobody, because everyone that is born in this world is a somebody, and you do have a meaning here, and you cannot allow others to take that out of you. You mean more to this world. We need you more in this world. But stop measuring on what other people have and what you think you're supposed to have. I'm telling you, so many people tell me, you know, I'm a nobody. You're a somebody and then some. I need people like you. I listen to everybody. The people that claim themselves as nobody, you're everything you can ever imagine. Don't ever think you're not worth anything because someone harmed you or someone talked down to you. Love yourself, man. And when you love yourself, then start allowing yourself to love others and be kind to others. Stop pretending you're a nobody. I don't like when people say that. You're bigger than that. Sorry, I just
what do you think's the
quiet all you or what? Everyone's looking at me like this. Everyone in the room's like this.
What do you think the root of that is, though?
The root of it? Well, there's a lot of things. You know, I'll give you, for instance, I know a human being right now that's very close to my heart who I've known since I was a child, and I've watched them struggle in their life because their father started tapping another woman. Now, maybe they didn't. That's another thing. People find the tools to figure things out. I think there's enough tools in life to start figuring out how to communicate with one another. But that wasn't the issue. This man became violent, and he would smack the mother around. And then eventually left with the other woman, and he's still with that woman. So I'll give him that credit. But the trauma of that child, watching the abuse and dealing with the screaming as a child, the minute what happens is, a lot of times, a lot of people, they have a stress or they're going through something, and then their first crutch is the wrong thing. Before they get healed, they're introduced to booze. You know, I'm stressed. I'm really stressed. So, And what that creates is, the rest of your life now, every time you're stressed, every time you think you need, this goes hand in hand. That's your tool now. Or it becomes something else, and it becomes uglier, or it becomes a sexual thing. You start selling your body. You don't have confidence in yourself, so you're willing to let a man abuse you. Or you think it's okay to pull my hair and punch me. You know? Who started this? Smack, 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 smack. How degrading. How many women you see doing this, you know, or the ping, pang, ping, pang. When did that? I never in my lifetime know any man that's a true man with morals, and that's grounded in life. I don't know any true men that's a father that would ever say, you know, when my daughter grows up, man, I hope the guy pulls her hair and slaps her in the ass and she wears a thong and he bites her and he just really abuses her and gives her marks and maybe tries to choke her. I don't know any man that would wish that on his mother, on his child, or anything. The demoralization of this society is sickening. That's why I used to crack me up when they say, one nation under God. That's why another thing. People stand for their nation, or they stand for their state, or they stand. Why? What is it doing for you? What is it doing for you? You need to stand for your family that you're creating. You need to stand for the people, the loved ones around your life. You need morality, you need grounding, you need God. And when you have that conscious decision of like, what's the good thing to do right here? What's the moral thing to do right there? Which isn't easy all the time. Temptation is a mofo. It's a mofo. But that person, I can cry thinking about it. I did everything I can with this person. I spent a lot of time with them. I don't want to reveal too much. But I recently got in touch with them, and they checked themselves in to a facility. And the greatest... Now, this person's in their 50s now, right? Almost 50. So we're talking about 45 years of trauma that they never healed. And there's a lot of people out there that still have never just faced trauma. Just face the trauma. Face the horror that you keep numbing yourself from. Just face it. It can't be worse than the time that you went through it. And don't, and the greatest thing I heard from this person was, oh my gosh, I'm starting to heal from the little girl in me. They're teaching me what I dealt with as a child. And I almost started crying because I've been trying to teach, but you can't teach people until they finally make that move. And she's like, they're talking about God a lot. And, she's like, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to. And that's okay. That's totally okay. But you have to understand, I don't care who you are. This is not religious. I'm just telling you, the thing that's grounded me in my life is I've always had a God conscious. I didn't always pull it up, but it's always, oh boy, how is this going to affect my daughter? And, I'll give you a great example. I got a story for you. I'm on the road years ago, right? And a very close friend of mine. And we were leaving this gig. And after the gig, they're like, hey, we got a private section for you on this rooftop bar. And we went on the rooftop bar. And as soon as we were there, a bunch of people came, and he thought, I just brought him on the road. And that's another thing is seeing friends that never been in a popular situation. He's like, oh, wow, this is really... I'm like, yeah, it's because they're hopped up because I'm the guy from TV. Has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with you. Trust me. Like, no, they're really into us. No, they're not. No, they're not. So with that said, at the end of the night, it was time to go back to the hotel room. Well, we called a cab, and these two girls were talking to him all night, and they were attractive women, all right? And some of you are going to think I'm a lunatic for thinking this way, but this is how far and deep I think. We're waiting there, and the taxi's taking forever. And the two females pull up in the front, and they're like, we'll drive you back to your hotel. And my friend went, bro, let's go. And I went, no. He's like, they'll bring us there. I went, no, absolutely not. He's like, what is the big deal? And I said to him, and I'm being dead honest, I went, God forbid. I know I'm not going to be with them, but let's just say we're going for a ride with these two females that I don't even really know. You know because you've been talking to them all night and you think they like you. God forbid we get in an accident. When that report comes out, Jim Breuer in a car, two females. What does that do for my wife at home taking care of my children? What does that do to my daughters? They are never going to know what truly happened. Their minds are going to wander. They're going to go, was he cheating? Why would he get in that car? He's not like that. What? And that I would never, ever, ever want to install that into my wife's brain, into her emotions, or my children, or any of my daughters, period. And he's like, well, that's pretty far-fetched. I went, to you it is. To you it is. Sorry. But that's the way you got to I'm sorry. Every moment you're being tested. And that's That's the way I look at it. So, whew, I'm exhausted, dude. What time is it?
It is 8:35.
It's 8:35. Do we still have people watching?
We have 1,200 people
That's
watching
it
right now.
That's it.
1,200?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that's a lot. Should we go into Bill Gates?
Let's do it. Yes.
Let's get into conspiracies here.
Let's preface.
Now, though, before I preface this, you're going to hear a lot of stuff about Obama. None of this is a fact. It's all conspiracy. I am all in the camp that Obama is gay, and I am all invested in Michelle Obama is not a female. Sorry. She is Big Mike. To the point where Obama has mentioned multiple times, saying by accident, calling Michelle Obama Michael. Now, I've been married for 30 years, and my wife's name is Dee. I have never called her Fred. I never accidentally called her Denny or Daniel. None of that. How do you accidentally go from Michelle to Michael? Let's go the videotape. Now what? Listen to what he says. This is not AI. He said this in front of a crowd.
I walk with my husband Michael and hold hands. It's like a whole new world for me.
I walk with my husband.
And I walk with my husband Michael and hold hands. It's like a whole new world for me.
Can you explain that? Can anyone explain that? Can anyone explain that? I walk with my husband Michael. Show the other time he says Michael. Don't show the other one yet. Watch this. He's on television show and he almost says Michael. How do you mistake Michael for Michelle?
I want to make sure he knows we're coming, or she.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if she's got some cubs, that's when you really got to worry.
Yeah. You know what my kids asked me? They said, you've got to ask the president, does anything scare him?
You know, well, when when Michelle's mad, I get worried.
When my Michelle, show the other one when he did it in front of Biden. And he was a bunch in front of, no, not this one. He says it again. How many times do you accidentally say Michael? No. Remember, he's in front of the crowd. No, go the other way. All right, show the Bill Gates one. This is a good one too. Just show that picture. Yeah. Do you guys see this picture? Instagram can't see this, right? This is Instagram? Yeah. I'm going to show you this picture.
Tell them to go on YouTube.
Go on YouTube. Can you just go on YouTube? Please go on YouTube. Look at this picture. Do you know who that is? This picture isn't new. It's been out a long time. You got Obama on the left. Is that Bill Gates in the middle? And boy, does that guy look like Michelle Obama. Now, again, this is just conspiracy kooky talk, but it's a little weird. Now, yeah, go on YouTube if you want to see the actual thing. Now, and I'm all in. You seen the dancing videos? Do yourself a favor. Go look up Michelle Obama dancing on Ellen's show. And I want you to explain what is it that's bouncing in Michelle Obama's pants. What can a female have that is clearly bouncing? Yeah, this one. What is bouncing? Let me take Instagram again. Here. Yo, that was it. Where you going? Nope. That one. Play that one. Right there. Boom. Watch right here. Watch. What? Come on, get in there. Get in there. It starts bouncing. Look at it. She grabs it a couple times, too. It starts bouncing. Look, right there. Right there. Right there. Wait, look right there. Right there. What is that? Boom. Start bouncing. And it starts moving in the pants. Go look it up yourself. You can see the close-ups. Now, here's the other conspiracy part. Turn on Joan Rivers. Do you guys... This is fascinating. Before you even play this. This is when I started really realizing my age. These guys had no clue who Joan Rivers was. And I was like, how do you not... Joan Rivers was one of the greatest female comics of all. She hosted The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I'm dating myself here. But she was a comedian. She was very funny. She was on E! With her daughter. She died right after this in a accident. She was getting either Botox or something like that. And I don't know many people that have passed away from Botox. But watch what she says right here.
Miss Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Okay.
Now right here.
I should do very well because I don't choke.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my God.
She's aggravated. She says, the guy asked, are we ever going to see a gay president? Said, we already do in Obama. And then she goes to walk in, she goes, you know, Michelle's a transgender. And he goes, what? She's a transgender. Like, almost like she's annoyed. Well, then she died right after that.
Yeah, 2 weeks after.
She died 2 weeks after that. I'm exhausted, dude. I'm going to save the thing for Bill Gates, but let me say this about Bill Gates. This guy, again, the worship. Why is Bill Gates worshipped? Can anyone explain that to me? What is it about Bill Gates? What is it about Bill Gates that is so special? Can anyone tell me? How does a man like this, with billions and billions and billions of dollars, get to say, I want to block out the sun? Did you hear about this? He wants to block out the sun. He's geoengineering mosquitoes, and he invests all his money in depopulating the world. And this all comes out of his mouth. I want to show you this, and I want to know, and I know people that actually like praise, they love. My neighbor that used to live in Chestnut, New Jersey, is like, we always contribute to the Gates Foundation because he does so much. He does so much? Bill Gates is an Avengers character. Play these things by him.
Population growth, that's this big benefit. The key thing you can do to reduce population growth is actually improve health.
In the developed countries, the big winners are countries that have shrinking populations.
I would like to reduce the number of people on the planet because there's too many of us.
Oh, really?
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population,
Wait. What the?
more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
Oh, wow. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
So in the next 5 to 10 years, for the next pandemic, we'll solve all those problems.
You say the next pandemic, there will be another pandemic.
Absolutely. We don't know when.
History teaches us that the next pandemic is a matter of when, not if.
We know what's next. We're going to have another major coronavirus pandemic before the end of this decade, before 2030.
If we really want to prevent the next pandemic, and there will be one, there will absolutely be an outbreak of another
pandemic. It's amazing
pandemic.
how people know what pandemics are coming. It's amazing how this guy, he talks about we need to depopulate the world. Everyone that talks about depopulating, have you all traveled? Have you been to Middle America? It's nothing but space. Space, land, and space. Oh, now we play God? We decide who's going to live and who's not going to live? Do you remember years ago when we used to look at China and we'd go, oh, you know, that's a sick country because they don't allow, you know, if it's a son or if it's a daughter, they have to get rid of them. It's like, what kind of country would do that to their children? The U.S. would. And you're allowing Bill Gates to say it, and people still put this man on a platform. He's playing God. He gets to decide who will live and who won't live because which I didn't know he was a scientist. And I didn't know he was a doctor. The last I checked, he was like a computer whiz who also was under investigation by the government a long time ago because he was the guy that created viruses when he was the only one that knew how to fix the viruses. Oh, genius, sire. And then he took his millions of dollars and he changed his whole image to be like, hi, I'm the vaccine guy. Let's go to Korea and kill kids. Korea didn't have autism until vaccines showed up. I didn't say that. That's not a fact. I'm not a scientist. But I've seen plenty of interviews that say the same exact thing. But hey, Bill Gates, isn't he brilliant? Guy, what a good guy. He contributes. He pays off. You know what all sick individuals do? They pay people off. Here, I'm a good guy. Ain't I a good guy? I'll pay for your foundation. Foundations, a lot of times, are big write-offs for billionaires. They need to write off a lot of money in taxes. That's what they do. Hey, here's a contribution to your foundation. Tax write-off. Here's a they don't care about the contributions. It's a tax write-off. And then the people that get it, I will never forget this statement. I lived next to a guy that worked for Moderna. Actually, take it away. Moderna, great company. Really. Love what they do. This guy worked for a vaccine company. True story. And when the whole thing was going down, I'll never forget, we stopped in the street, and he was all caught up in the news, and he asked me if I got vaccinated. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. And he said, why not? I said, there's no need to. He goes, no, you know, and he tried to explain to me what his little scientific friends taught him how to sell the product. And I'll never forget this quote. I said, well, what about the side effects? What about the people that are affected in a bad way with vaccines? And his exact words were, he paused and he went, the good outweigh the bad until it's your child. And the good outweighs the bad when it comes to how much of this is made. The good outweighs the bad. As long as we get that. If there was no money involved, would it exist? Would you have shoved it down everyone's throat? I don't know. It's a question to be asked. But hey, they're on television. We need to trust the science. Don't trust morality. Don't trust your instinct. Don't trust what God perfectly formulated your body with your own brain to think. Don't trust God who gave you common sense, those feelings that tell you something's wrong. Trust the television. They have the facts. They have the specialist. They have the figures. They have the truth. And they have this in their pocket to sell you the BS. I'll continue to listen to God. I will continue to listen to my instinct. Bill Gates, can you play the, he wants to block out the sun. Are you listening to me? You think I'm lying? Forget, if you don't want to believe Joe Rogan, that's fine too. First play the Rogan clip, then play, this is all over. He's not hiding this. Play this.
As some plan to stop global warming and like shoot particles into the air to block out the sun. And people are like, hey, do you know how many people are on Earth? You can't just come up with that idea and try it. Like, what about the rest of us? This
You
is
all
the whole
need
planet.
vitamin D.
But imagine being so ridiculous that you're so wealthy that you think, oh, I could just block the sun.
I got so much money, I'm going to block the sun. This is a character out of the Avengers. I shall go to the earth with all my wealth, and I'll go to a Coldplay concert, and I'll get caught. But before I do that, I shall not help the homeless. I shall not feed people around the world with my great wealth. I shall not build things for the elderly to give them care the rest of their life. I shall block out the sun. What do you need to see? You need to see this, and you need to see a tail and a pitchfork? Hello? Humanity, wake up! Block out the sun. The sun gives life. The sun makes things live. The sun gives life. It gives light. It heats. It's beautiful. It's warm. It gives life to the plant. The plants, they face the sun. The trees, they face the sun. Let's block it out. Who are the sick human beings behind this? Hey, let's march for these rights. It's all in your face. They laugh in your face. Play this guy. Play this clip.
Also been obsessed with the idea of, quote, blocking out the sun using chalk or other types of chemicals. And Bill Gates has also funded research and projects all around the world, not just in America, but across Europe and various other places, that are willing to research and get involved in this type of nefarious, I would call it, practices.
Meanwhile, Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth.
A chemical cloud.
It's called solar
That's good for
geoengineering,
humanity.
and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this.
Oh.
Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of
I
light
thought this
flexion
was a
particles
conspiracy
into the
that
stratosphere.
planes
It would create a thin chemical
spread
cloud of those
chemicals
particles
in the air.
around
Oh, now
the
it's
whole
not a
planet,
conspiracy.
blocking
Oh,
some
okay.
sunlight from reaching the surface.
Oh, we're gonna block
It would
the
mimic a
sunlight.
giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
Now, just stop right here. If you went on God, morality, common sense, and some whack job comes to you and says, I got all this money and I got this idea of blocking out the sun. Your first reaction would go, are you a psychopath? Are you nuts? And then they go, but I've got money. How much money do you? And then you'd be like, okay, all right, I'll take the money. He's bought your morality. He's killed the God inside. He just killed everything. He killed your spirituality. He sold your soul. And you're willing to get behind this psychopath to block the sun. If there was no money involved, you'd probably chase this guy down the street and you'd beat him to death for even the thought of saying, I'm going to spray things in the air and I'm going to block out the sun. Man, I hope we wake up one day. Wouldn't it be beautiful if Bill Gates build homes for the elderly. Wouldn't it be great if he built homes and we started helping homeless people and started rebuilding Maui? Or started building the people that lost their lives in North Carolina and all of Fort Myers and the west coast of Florida and all the tragedies. Wouldn't that be amazing? Let's go block out the sun. Let's inject mosquitoes that can go and attack people. Have you heard that one? Go look that up. These aren't conspiracy, folks. This is real life that you're living. And the minute you turn off that damn television, and the minute you get your God back inside you and trust your instinct, the better we'll all be. And remember, you're way more important than you can ever imagine. Go help a life today. Go help your life today. And stop listening to these sick, deranged, evil, horrifying, disturbing beings. I don't even know if they're human beings. They're just beings. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you mention Bill Gates to me, I've lost all. If I'm going to show you this man's willing to block the sun and he's willing to depopulate. Depopulate is a nice word for controlling humanity and controlling who's going to give birth. And if you don't find that an issue, well, maybe you've lost touch of reality. And I wish you the very best. Thank you for watching. Thanks for always checking in. I love your messages. We have a new Funny How God Works. We just filmed 2 of those. Yes, Funny How God Works. We got a shirt. I'm not feeling this shirt for dudes. I'm not feeling it for dudes. Can we get your reaction? Show it to Instagram too. I don't know if my personal opinion, I think it's a good girl shirt. What about the back? You like the back? Give your yays and nays. I think I need something more manly for a dude. That's just me. I need something like metal. Like you know, the armor of God with the thing, and maybe something. That's just me, though.
Something hardcore.
We're catching some nays in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling. If I'm a.
I like the back for sure.
I like the back, but I think for a girl, I think girls would wear this.
Someone said the kid wearing it looks like a chick. No, I'm kidding. I said that.
I do like for females. And listen, I'm the one that came up with that little design. I just, so I have to take the hit on that. But the minute I saw it, I went, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. It's just, yeah, anyway. We need a...
Hardcore.
Yeah, I need hardcore. I want to, like a Viking. You know what I mean? I want to defend it like a Viking. I want to be like a warrior. I want a spiritual warrior. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. All right, man. Thank you all very much. I love you more than you know. I love the messages you give to me. It's funny. I ran into a guy who's a big fan of me. He's at the gym in my neighborhood. And he likes when I do certain things. Like, I like when you go crazy. He goes, I love all the new videos you put now. I went, oh, do you like the Funny How God... I'm not into that crap. I went, what part? I ain't into God crap. I went, it's not religious. They're real stories. It's funny. Even though they're all real stories, remember I said I have a hard time naming this because people just hear God and they're like, because they've been so tarnished, and trust me, it has nothing to do with religion or anything. These are just real stories that really happen, and the way I always sum it up is, you know, funny how God works. Yeah. You know, like, you know, I don't know. So anyway, thanks for hanging in. YouTube, Instagram, is Facebook here too? Instagram. I didn't mean to disrespect you, Instagram. I didn't mean to put you in the same boat as Facebook. My apologies. I think we're going to do this one more time. I'm leaving the country for a month. We have the last episode of the Bruniverse coming up. And a lot of people like this last. I mean, they like the father one. The father one's really popular and the one that just came out. Yeah, but the 2 we just filmed yesterday.
Bangers. Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're up in the ante. All true stories. All right. Much love. Be kind to one another. Learn to like yourself. Be kind. Smile. And just talk to someone. No politics. No politics. And turn off the television. Later, Gators. I'm exhausted.